Alright, so we're going to do the herringbone stitch. If I can find my second needle. Aha. Okay, so we're going to do the herringbone stitch. This one looks kind of tricky, but it's really not bad. The big thing that you want to remember when you're doing this one is that you're always going to insert your needles with the tips going towards each other and not in the same direction. As long as you do that, you'll be fine. Okay, so to begin, you're going to start like you're going to knit two together, but you're going to do it through the back loop. So if you were to put it through the front loop, it would look like you're getting ready to purl, and that's not what we want. Instead, you're going to put it through the back side, through two loops. You can see them both there. You're going to wrap your yarn. Pull your working yarn through, same as you normally would. Now if you were going to knit two together, you would just pull both of these stitches off and be done with it. But what we're going to do instead is just let this front stitch only come off. So we've got one stitch on the needle, we've dropped a stitch here, and then this one's still hanging out. Then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to put it in through the back loop, through two stitches, wrap it, pull your working yarn through, and instead of pulling both of those stitches off, we're just going to let one come off. Two through the back loop, wrap your yarn, pull it through, and then only let one come off. So I'm just going to finish up this row really quick. One of the hard things is just getting only one loop to come off. And you can use your fingers to do that. Like if you just want to kind of do one of those jobbies, it'll definitely slow you down, but if you feel more comfortable that way. I like to use my thumb to hold the back one and then just use my needle to slip it off. But you can find what works well for you. Alright, so when you get to the very end of your row, eventually you're going to end up with just one lone stitch. And then you can't really keep doing the same thing over and over again because there's only one left. So I'm down to my last two. I'm going to go in through the back loop, wrap it, pull through, only let the front one hop off, and then I've got one stitch left. So all I'm going to do is just go in through the back, slip it over. Alright, so that's how you do the right side. Well, now we have to turn it. Whoop. And we've got this kind of like ugly funky line thing happening. That's how we know it's the wrong side. And just like normal, the wrong side is going to be made primarily up of purls. So what you're going to do here is kind of the same thing, but just purling instead of knitting. So we've got our first two loops. See, needles are still going towards each other. Gonna go in through these two loops, wrap, pull through, and then only let the very first one come off the end. Do the same thing again. We're gonna purl through these two stitches, wrap it, pull it through, and then you're going to let one of them come off. So you're just going to do a whole row like that. Purling is definitely slower and a little bit more finicky for me. I'm mostly knitting around, so I don't have to mess with it too much. But alas, here we are. Two together, wrap it, pull it through, let the one come off, into two, one goes off, into two, one comes off, into two, one comes off, getting down to the end of this row now, into two, one comes off, we've got that one stitch left, we're just going to slip it over, flip, and there you go. That's the herringbone stitch.